Hi friends, today we're going to do a science experiment. But to do this science experiment, you guys have to do something for me. I need you to go around your house and find all the items that you would like to see if they sink or float in water. So can you go find some? Do you want to see some of the ones I found? I have a baby carrot. I have a toilet paper roll. I have my screwdriver. I have a wooden spoon. I have a can of my cat's food. I have a glue stick. I have a candle, a very small candle. I have a rock I found outside yesterday. I have my little ducky. My little ducky. I have a measuring spoon. I have some eggs. We're only going to use one egg though, but I have some eggs. And then I have some sticky notes, which are paper. We'll see what happens to those. What kind of items did you find in your house? Okay. First, we're gonna push all this stuff back over. That way we have room. Oh, that was wet. It was the carrot. Okay. Now we have our water. Can you see the water? I put a lot of water in this. How much water are you going to use? You can see through the water. You can touch the water. It's nice and wet. My water's warm. I don't want to use cold water. So, what do I want to put in the water first? I think maybe the measuring spoon. What do you think's going to happen to the measuring spoon? It's kind of heavy, and it's made of metal. Do you think it will sink or float? Let's find out. Oh, what happened? Did it float? No, it did not float. I need a towel. I didn't think of that. Got a towel. It must be too heavy to float on the water. I think that's because it's made of metal. Okay, we'll get that out. What should we try next? Maybe the wooden spoon. What do you think will happen with the wooden spoon? It's made of wood. It seems a little bit lighter than the measuring spoon. Do you think this will float? I think it might. Let's find out. What's happening? It won't go down. Is it floating? It is. It is floating in the water. That is because it's made of wood. A lot of wood floats on the water because it is lighter than most objects. What should we do next? I think I want to do the baby carrot next. This, I don't know if it's going to sink or float. This will be interesting. I'm not sure because it's kind of heavy and dense. But it is a carrot. So let's find out. Oh, did it float? It did not float. It sank all the way to the bottom. Okay, let me get that one out. Oh, it's a little slippery. So, the wooden spoon floated because it's nice and light. But the metal measuring spoon and the baby carrot did not float. Should we try the glue stick next? Let's make sure it's closed all the way. There we go. Do you think the glue stick will float? I'm not positive. Well, let's find out. What do you think? It's floating right on top. Not down here. Right on top. Why do you think it's floating on top? I think it's floating because it's made of plastic. Lots of plastic floats. Like a lot of our toy boats at school, they're made of plastic. And they float on top of the water. Next. Should we try the screwdriver? Ooh. Dropped it. What do you think the screwdriver is going to do? We got plastic on this side, but then we have metal on this side. Do you think it will float, or do you think it's going to sink to the bottom? Let's find out. Yeah, it's not going to float. It looks like it sunk to the bottom. It's pretty heavy. Let's get that out. Shake, 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 shake it. What should we try next? The screwdriver didn't float, it sunk. So the only thing we have we have two things that floated right now. The wooden spoon and the glue stick. Let's put these ones over here. These ones float. Okay, what's next? Should we try the candle? What do you think's gonna happen? The candle. The candle feels pretty light. It's made of metal. So we've had some metal sink to the bottom. But I don't know if this one will sink. Let's find out. It's floating. Do you see it? It's floating right on top of the water. It is so light that it floats. That's because the wax in the candle is so light that it is able to float on top of the water. So we'll put that one right there with the rest of our stuff that floats. Next, let's do the cat food. The cat food's really heavy. But there's stuff inside, so I don't know. Maybe it will float on top. Maybe it'll sink to the bottom. What do you think's gonna happen to the can of cat food? Let's find out. What happened? The can was so heavy. It's floating. Why do you think it's floating? I think it's because there might be some air left in this can, just like they have air inside the boat, to help it stay floating on top of the water. Well, that was cool. I did not expect that one to float. Next. The toilet paper roll. Do you think the toilet paper roll is going to float or sink? I think it's going to float because it's really light and made of cardboard. What do you think? Ready? Oh, what's happening? It's slowly moving. Do you think it's going to sink or stay floating? Right now it's floating. And now it's sunk. It was floating first when it was dry, but now that it's wet, it sunk to the bottom. Wow, that's different. Let's get it out of there. Why do you think it sunk to the bottom after getting wet? Oh, it feels different now. Look, it's squishy. It's heavy. It soaked up all the water. Well, that was cool. I thought that one was going to float, and it sunk to the bottom because it absorbed water, which means it sucked in all the water around it into the side of itself. Okay, next I wanted to try a sticky note, which is paper. So I think this might float because it's so light, just like our airplanes were. But I don't know, maybe it will sink when it gets wet, just like the toilet paper roll did. Let's find out. Let's watch. What's gonna happen? It's floating right now. Do you think it's gonna sink? I don't think so. I think it's gonna stay floating. Well, that's cool. This one absorbed some water, but it still stayed on top. Ready? We'll take it out. Shake it off. We'll dry it off. So the sticky note floats. That's cool. I have a couple more things for us to try. I think we'll try the egg next. Here's our egg. Egg's kind of heavy. Do you think it's going to sink or float? It's got a hard shell. Let's find out. What happened? Did it float? Not at all. It sunk straight to the bottom. Wow. That egg is heavy. And it does not have any air in it at all. It's all egg. Okay. So we tried our egg. We have 2 more things to try. I have my rubber ducky, and I have the rock. Do you think the rock's going to sink or float? I think it's going to sink because it's really heavy. Let's find out. Oh, it's pulling me down. Oh, it's right on the bottom. Yeah, it was a little too heavy to float. What about the rubber ducky? I think rubber duckies are meant to float. Let's find out. Look at that. The rubber ducky's floating. Oh. Blunk. Oh, he won't even go under. I think that's because the duck is full of air, so he is able to float on top of the water. Wow. Did your guys' objects float or sink? Which ones floated? Do you know why they were able to float? This is such a cool project. And if you guys don't want to do this project in a vase like I did, you can do it in the bathtub during bath time. You can do it in the sink when you're doing dishes. Anywheres that has water is perfect to try this with. Let me know what kind of objects you guys found around your house. See you next time.